Right now, breaking news on News Channel 8.
Is he their man?
As far as whether I'm optimistic, whether this has to do with Seminole Heights, yes, I believe this has to do with Seminole Heights.
Tonight, a Seminole Heights community brought to the brink by a killer, anxious to hear if he is finally off the streets. Good evening, I'm Keith Cate.
I'm Jennifer Lee. Thank you for joining us tonight. We begin with breaking news in the search for a possible serial killer. It could be the break in the case Tampa police have been tirelessly working for. Let's listen in to Chief Brian Dugan.
As you recall, on October 9th, Benjamin Mitchell was 22 years old and he was murdered. That was 51 days ago. On October 11th, 2 days later, 32-year-old Monica Hoffa was murdered. 8 days later, on October 19th, Anthony Nyboa murdered. 26 days later, on November 14th, just 2 weeks ago, 60-year-old Ronald Felton was murdered. We received over 5,000 tips in this case. I am pleased to announce that tonight we will be making an arrest in the Seminole Heights murders. Our detectives are currently working on the charging documents, and we will be charging 4 counts of first-degree murder for Hal Emmanuel Donaldson III, 24 years old. Now, unfortunately, I will not have the answers that you are going to want. This is an ongoing situation. We responded out to the area about 2:30 this afternoon. We received some information about Mr. Donaldson having a firearm at the McDonald's. One of his co-workers approached a police officer. That is what led us to that. Through our investigation, several hours later, we will be charging Donaldson, like I said, with 4 counts of first-degree murder. I would like to thank the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, the FBI, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, the Florida Highway Patrol, the St. Pete Police Department, Pasco County Sheriff's Office, the University of South Florida PD, and the U.S. Marshal's Office, and several other law enforcement agencies have been assisting us. But more importantly, I would like to thank the people of Seminole Heights who have just been phenomenal in their support of our police department. It has just been their patience and their support and the way they have rallied behind the cops of Tampa has just been phenomenal. And the entire Bay Area, the way they have supported the men and women of the Tampa Police Department and the neighborhood of Seminole Heights has just been awesome to see. Mayor?
You know, 51 days ago, I said this was a struggle between good and evil. Well, tonight, goodness has won. Tonight, in the battle between darkness and light, light has won. It would not have happened without the amazing police work and the amazing partnership of the people that you see behind me, of the hundreds of men and women of the Tampa Police Department that have been on this case for 51 days. They put their lives on the sidelines, they put their normal jobs on the sidelines, and they focused on one thing, and that was to catch a killer. I cannot tell you how proud I am of them. I cannot tell you how proud I am of the partnership that we have with our fellow law enforcement agencies. I can't tell you, and I know I speak for the people of Seminole Heights, who stood up with us shoulder to shoulder, who never left during the tough times, who never quit on us, nor did they ever quit on the men and women of law enforcement. They had our backs and we had theirs. We could not have done this without their support and the support of this entire community. Tonight is the beginning of when justice will be served. And then the process will occur when this individual rots in hell. TPD did their job. The troopers did their job. FDLE did their job. The FBI did their job. Seminole Heights did their job. And tonight, we're bringing someone to justice who doesn't deserve the right to walk amongst us. These folks deserve the credit. Now, Let's go bring justice to the families that are here today.
Any questions?
Any words about the fast food workers who initially brought this to the attention of the Tampa Police Department? Obviously, they were very concerned, spotting a gun. I don't know how much they knew about it. This was actually a serial murderer, or if they were just concerned about the gun. But what do you have to say about that?
What I have to say is thank you for having the courage to step forward and doing the right thing. You know, if doing the right thing were easy, then everybody would do it. And unfortunately, we don't have enough of that. The people that helped us today are what make this a great city, and I just cannot thank them enough.
Did he confess to the crimes?
We're not releasing anything like that. It is still ongoing. The charging documents are still being crafted and put together, so it's going to be some time before we can release any type of information like that.
Answering questions though, or being cooperative?
We're still going through the whole process.
Can you confirm if he worked at that McDonald's?
I don't know for sure that he worked there still. I believe at one point he did. I don't know if he still does or did.
You had mentioned optimism right from the beginning today. What gave you that optimism?
I think when I found out there was a gun, and when we looked at his description, it gave us a little more than what we've ever really had. We've run down some guns before, run into some other things. It just felt right. I kind of had a feeling that we were going to get a break. You know, every day we would meet as a group, and we would say, what day is it? And today was day 51. And we discussed yesterday, I said, we're gonna get a break this week. I was trying to be optimistic. I have a tendency to be, my glass is half empty sometimes. And so I wanted to kind of pump everybody up, and for whatever reasons, we got a break. Somebody stepped up and did the right thing, and that's what we needed. We had said all along that no tip is too small, and somebody stepped forward and gave us what we needed. Well, there are several pieces that we are having to put together, and so it's going to be more than one thing.
Did you give any indication as to why on the tip? Can you give us anything on the tip without, jeopardizing the investigation about what that caller said? I know that you guys have been running on thousands of tips anyway, but can you give us any insight into that?
They actually approached an officer on foot and had a conversation. So it was that conversation, and then as far as we are still trying to figure out what this person's ties to the neighborhood is. We're not sure why he was in this neighborhood. We're not aware of what his ties are, and we don't know what his motive is. But there's a lot more to go. Unfortunately, we knew by coming out here tonight that we would probably create a lot more questions, but the real goal is to let the people of Seminole Heights be able to get a good night's sleep. It's been 51 days that they've been terrorized in their neighborhood, and it is about letting these families know that we're going to bring this person to justice and letting this neighborhood get some rest and hopefully try and put their lives back together.
Were you able to talk to any of the families yet?
Yes, I talked to Monica Hoffa's father on the phone through some text messages, but our detectives have reached out to all the family members. So. Thank you. We'll be following up in the morning. I know you'll have more questions. Thank you.
Now, there's some really big news right there. You're watching the outcome of a tremendous investigation that has been going on now for 51 days. And we finally have a name, Jen.
That's right. Howell Emmanuel Donaldson arrested tonight for the 4 murders in Seminole Heights.
And it was a McDonald's employee who's credited with that tip that led the police to Donaldson, and tonight our reporters are spread out all over Tampa, from Ybor City to Seminole Heights. Melanie Michael, we're going to start with you. She joins us live from the McDonald's on East 13th Avenue, where police finally caught this break. And I heard the chief saying they don't know his ties to Seminole Heights. They don't really know his motive, but they have the guy they think did this, Mel, and that is good news for this neighborhood.
It certainly is, guys. Good evening to you both. My goodness, what an intense investigation. 51 days, more than 5,000 tips. And tonight, it was the tip that cracked this case wide open. And it all started here, as you mentioned, at this McDonald's with a man and his car. Item by item, piece by piece, investigators combed through the car, now at the center of this case. And what they found inside could be telling as detectives try and close in on the killer.
As far as whether I'm optimistic, whether this has to do with Seminole Heights, yes, I believe this has to do with Seminole Heights.
Inside the car, cops found all kinds of things like a suitcase, a backpack, several hoodies, and a jacket, all collected and now being processed.
He was a little, off. I mean, he always stared off and stayed to himself, quiet. But I would hope not. I would hope not. I hope he didn't.
This employee shared with us his eyewitness account of what happened. He told us his coworker dropped off a backpack and told the manager he had to run an errand, warning her not to look inside. When she did, she allegedly found a loaded gun, called the cops, and they were there waiting on the man when he returned.
I was right there unloading the trucks, and when he walked up to the door, and they just rushed him. The police just rushed him to the ground.
And it all began right there. They took him to the ground, took him into custody, took him to headquarters for questioning. And as you heard the chief mention just a few moments ago, they made an arrest. I can tell you guys, after being on this case for the past 6 weeks, I know the community of Seminole Heights, the city of Tampa, and so many members of law enforcement are pleased tonight to bring justice to the 4 families involved in this case. Jen, Keith?
Without question, live for us tonight, Melanie Michael in Ybor City. Thanks, Mel.
And right now, this is an emotional roller coaster ride for the families of those 4 victims in Seminole Heights. News Channel 8's Corey Davis is continuing our team coverage tonight. Corey, I know you had a chance to speak with some of those relatives. You've spoken to them actually for weeks now. We heard the chief saying he's talked to Monica Hoffa's dad. They've been texting with family members. How are they feeling tonight?
Keith, good evening to you. I am sure those relatives are now able to sleep a little easier now that an arrest has been made in this case. I did speak with Monica Hoffa's uncle not long ago when police were questioning the suspect, or they were questioning this person at the time, and I can tell you they were on edge for most of the afternoon and into the evening. Days after spending Thanksgiving without her, Monica Hoffa's family is now feeling more anxiety.
Don't want another family to go through what our 4 families have been going through, as well as our community.
Monica's uncle, Robert Hoffa, too shaken to speak on camera after learning Tampa police officers were questioning a man accused of having a gun possibly connected to Seminole Heights, the neighborhood where Monica and 3 others were murdered.
It just feels like you can't breathe.
That weight hopefully lifted soon.
Whenever you hear it's just your blood pressure starts boiling almost, because you want to go out there and take out justice, but you have to let the police do their job.
A month and a half after the first murder, Robert tells us it has taken patience and faith to get this far.
I'm shaking. I feel like an earthquake. If this is him, I'd like to just go camp out at the police department until he's tried. It'd be nice.
Right now, the family is on edge, waiting for answers.
Praying for a phone call of capture tonight.
And they most definitely got that phone call tonight, a good one indeed. And relatives are definitely happy that that call was made and that the person was caught. They can sleep a little easier, and it's great news for those who are living here in Seminole Heights right now. Back to you.
All right, Corey Davis live in Seminole Heights with some encouraging news with all of those family members. News Channel 8's Shannon Benkin is joining us live. She's outside the Orient Road Jail tonight. And Shannon, I guess nobody's been brought there yet, but we know that this 24-year-old Howell Emmanuel Donaldson, who often goes by Trey, may be coming in there shortly. So what have you heard there at the jail?
Well, we're hearing that he should be coming in here shortly, like you said, within a couple of hours probably. And people have been here waiting for him, but no sign yet. But when he does arrive in a couple of hours, he'll be brought in this secure area here. He'll be brought in by car, then taken in this area, and then taken into the jail for booking. We're being told that they are not going to open this area for media to ask questions of the suspect just yet, but that there will be booking video released in the morning. So hopefully 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, we should get a better look at this suspect. Back to you.
All right, Shannon Benkin live at the Orient Road Jail tonight. And what a night this is, Jen. I mean, we've kind of been waiting on this for so long, and we finally hear about this young man. We don't know much about him yet.
We don't, and I expect it'll be the days to come that we will learn more. But one thing we know for certain, Seminole Heights residents can breathe a little easier tonight, can maybe get the first good night's sleep they've had in more than 50 days. We'll be right back. Stay with us. We continue our team coverage now with News Channel 8's Ryan Hughes. He is live in Seminole Heights along Nebraska Avenue. And Ryan, the people in that neighborhood have been optimistic, hopeful all day. They haven't let their guard down, but now, as we've been mentioning throughout the newscast, they may finally get to breathe a sigh of relief.
That's really the case, Jen. Good evening to you. Certainly quiet out here tonight. When many people in this neighborhood wake up in the morning, they will be glad to hear this news. All along, for more than 50 days, they have been hopeful and optimistic. Apprehension still hangs over Seminole Heights, even though the Tampa police chief said he's optimistic about the gun found at an Ybor City McDonald's.
I mean, they don't have any, like, specific details about it. I mean, I hope that's the guy, but there's really not any real information. Hope remains, but people won't change their altered lives until there's certainty.
Till we find out definitely it is him, I'm still very wary. I live about 1.5 miles from here in Tampa Heights, and I come here every day almost.
Because I need to do a lot of walking with my wife, so now we're making start back.
Might is the key word. People have lived for weeks on edge.
Well, yeah, it's very stressful. I mean, you can't be out at night and sleeping, you hear a bump and you're like, what was that? So of course it's stressful for everybody. It's really upsetting.
And now, of course, many of those sentiments will change. We're live tonight in Seminole Heights. I'm Ryan Hughes, News Channel 8.
Now, Max Defender 8, the world's most powerful radar, and your Storm Team 8 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Steve Jervey.
Well, stronger easterly winds over on the East Coast, stirring up some showers at Max Defender 8. Can spot from a good distance away, otherwise quiet across the Bay Area. But some of these showers aren't too far away from Highlands County. You can see these showers around Brevard County down to Port St. Lucie and all the way down to West Palm. Some of these showers here, Okeechobee, kind of drifting off to the west. So again, our rain chances, though, are much less than 10%. They even had rip current concerns over on the East Coast as a result of those stronger winds today. 85 degrees our high today, 86. The record set in 1990, so not far away from that. Should be a warm one again tomorrow. Teddy Bear Drive is on, a great place to bring a brand new Bears to Kindness Day. But a week away here, a little more than a week away, Friday, December 8th, from 6 a.m. to 7 all day long. These other charities as well. We'd love to see those Bears. Danny Schiffer in the Thanota Sassa area. Beautiful shot tonight at sunset. And this one in from April Homer. She's at Honeymoon State Park. And Michelle as well from earlier in Gulf Harbors. Had a few clouds around the region today. Clear skies too, and I think we'll start out with lots of sunshine tomorrow. At 7 a.m., 67 degrees. That's pretty warm for this time of year. Our normal low about 58 degrees or so almost 10 degrees above normal. 73 degrees our current temp. Tampa International. Dew point up to 65 degrees. Can't rule out the possibility of seeing some fog. In fact, I saw some of the visibility is already falling in some of those northern inland spots. Right now, 67 Weeki Wachee Zephyr Hills, 72 degrees in St. Petersburg. 70 in Clearwater, 71 Bradenton, 68 in Winter Haven, Sebring, and Lakeland. The big picture is ridge of high pressure is going to control, keeping away cold fronts, upper level troughs from dipping in, providing cooler temperatures at the surface or even stirring up the atmosphere to provide a few showers and storms. Back to the west, but potential for this air here, but that's next week. Other than that, temperatures are going to stay above our average. Upper level low pressure sitting about here, helping to create some showers for the Florida Straits and send some clouds across the Keys in South Florida. Not as active as it was yesterday, though. Satellite radar says just a few showers here well to our east, and a few of these high clouds. We saw those in the sky, too, as well as we had some fair weather clouds as well. So the overnight period of time, partly cloudy skies. As I mentioned, possibility of some patchy fog, more likely tomorrow night, though, into Thursday morning. Mostly sunny, warmer temps around for us, and again, partly cloudy skies in the afternoon. Near record temps could be mid-80s again. Feels pretty warm, too, because we have the humidity returning with the stronger easterly flow into our area. So patchy fog, in fact, the computer model's picking up on that blob right there. Mild in the mid-80s for us, our high temperatures. Thursday afternoon, mix of sunshine and clouds. Weak front headed our way, kind of reinforces the cooler air that we've had around here lately, relative cooler air. Basically, our temperatures will stay above normal, but when we see these fronts come through, it kind of readjusts that high temperature closer to our average, which is 75 degrees. So we're running pretty warm here. 84 degrees for Thursday. Slight chance of rain with that front sliding into the area. 81 for Friday. And then as we get into Saturday, Sunday, nice looking weekend, although a bit warm for, I guess, December by then. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, our temperatures will a little bit cooler as a result of another front into the area, upper 70s, and that too is still above normal, but it will feel cooler because we had almost record highs today.
All right.
Thank you.
Big news night here. We're going to take a break and be right back with sports after this.
After a dismal weekend of back-to-back losses, the Lightning continued their road trip tonight in Buffalo. Once again, they're playing back-to-back games, so no rest, win or lose, against the Sabres tonight. This was a good one, though. First period, watch Mikhail Sergachev, bottom of your screen there, one-timer. His 6th goal of the season. He's a defenseman, now in the top 10 in the league for goals for defensemen. Later in the second, another defenseman gets on it, gets in on the act. Dan Girardi, a shot that deflected past a Sabres player into the net. Andre Vasilevsky sharp again tonight, 34 saves, his 2nd shutout of the season. And the Bolts end their 2-game losing skid with a 2-0 win. They're headed to Boston now to play tomorrow night. The Bucks placed tight end Luke Stalker and defensive end Darryl Tapp on waivers today. Stalker was a 2011 Bucks draft selection and started 56 games. He has just 3 catches, though, this year with 1 touchdown. And Auburn's big Iron Bowl win over Alabama has landed the Tigers in the #2 spot in this week's college football playoff rankings. The Crimson Tide, meanwhile, are now the first team out, falling from 1st to 5th in the rankings. So we're getting ready for a wild weekend. Not one of these top 4 teams is a lock because all 4 will play in their respective conference championship games on Saturday. If any of them lose, it'll create a huge mess, and I know a lot of fans out there want the mess.
War Eagle, that's all I'm going to say.
I find the mess entertaining, but it could be a mess.
It's good for business for you, right?
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Yep. A final update now on the breaking news in the Seminole Heights case. After 51 days, tonight, Tampa police say they have their man in the 4 murders. Howell Emmanuel Donaldson is the name. We're going to have more information about him as the days go along, but we know that he was arrested after police received some tips. Tips coming in from an Ybor City McDonald's Tuesday afternoon. Police took Donaldson in for some questioning after a gun was recovered at the scene. He is charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder in the killings of Benjamin Mitchell, Monica Hoffa, Anthony Naboa, and Ronald Felton. Now that he's caught, relief for the victims' families.
I'm overjoyed right now. I'm shaking right now because like I should be, and my hands are sweaty. I'm just very joyed that we've caught this killer and got him off the streets.
And that was the uncle speaking there, but what a night, what a day, and more to come.
And we do have a picture of this young man that we were going to put up on WFLA.com. We're going to put it out on our News Channel 8 app as well. So lots of updates coming throughout the evening and into the early morning. You want to stay tuned for all of that.
And yeah, we'll be having all those updates tomorrow morning, so be sure to tune in the morning. In the meantime, when you get up in the morning, the weather's going to be what, Steve?
It's going to be warm. 67 degrees to start, close to 10 degrees above normal. Could be some patchy fog, some of the inland areas, more likely the next night. But plenty of sunshine to start. Nice warm day, mid-80s. Could be close to record highs again.
Can you imagine the relief that Seminole Heights community is having tonight after 51 days?
I wouldn't be surprised if people walked out in the streets tonight, turned on the lights, and just started talking to neighbors, going, you know what, it feels good.
For the first time in weeks, they can do that.
Strong community there. It says a lot for the police department and the entire area.
Without question. Thank you for joining us. Jimmy Fallon is coming up next.
Our next newscast at 4:30 a.m. Have a great night. Sleep well, Seminole Heights.